Good day, Karen.
Good day, John.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Right
Fucking
Now. There it is.
whoop.
For those who are listening, we just captured our intro picture slide. We got it right off the bat. We didn't save it till the end as usual.
I love that. Let's get on with it. So right when I got here, John was telling me about a podcast he was listening to that sounded like a very good jumping off point. And I was reminding John that, yes, it could be controversial to some people, but so what? So what? If we ruffle your feathers, beautiful. I invite you to lean in and ask, like, what's here for you? What's here for you? And if it does ruffle your feathers, leave a comment. Let us know, because it's meant to. It's meant to wake you the fuck up if you're sleeping. So tell us about it, John.
Thank you, Karen.
You're
That's so
welcome.
sweet. I really appreciate that. All right, so here it is. Don't remember who the YouTube guy was or the channel, but he was a phenomenal fellow. And he made a basic statement that purely from an observational perspective, have you noticed that those in our current reality who need the most have the least, and those who spend awesomely or insanely, depending on your perspective, need nothing? They'll spend thousands of dollars on a single steak or dinner or whatever, and it just seems like money continues to keep raining down on them. And it really resonated within me in recognition that state of being creates reality. You can choose to make reality create your state of being, which is a game a lot of people are saying, but the higher truth would be it's actually your state of being which is creating your reality. And it seems simple, but it really resonated as a profound idea with me in recognizing those who are always in need have the least because they're choosing to occupy a state of being of need, and their reality is going to then reflect to them that they're always going to be lacking.
Yeah, I love that. And you know, I have this fascination with language. And today I was actually playing with this with a client, and she wanted a better paying job and a relationship. So I'm like, okay, say this. I need this promotion. And then feel it in your body. And she's like, ugh. Like, it's important for me to have this promotion. And it's like so icky. I really, really, really want this promotion. Those are all desperation. And when we make things important, our subconscious mind gets us into a stress response because it associates it with survival.
Yeah.
And guess what you don't have access to when you're in survival? Your logical mind. So you don't have activity or access to your creativity, your passion, your humor, your bliss, your compassion, your logic. You have access to a strong jaw, strong arms, and strong legs.
I love that.
So you become dumb when you make things important. So remember that. And just feel it. If you don't trust me, you shouldn't. Try it out for yourself. Like, test it. How does it feel? And then test this one out. It would be nice to get that promotion or something better.
Yeah, that's Abraham's favorite line. Wouldn't it be nice?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be fun if whatever? You can
Right.
feel the immediate resonance with yourself through emotions, as we talked about in one of the last episodes. Emotions always being the indicator.
Yeah.
And you can feel the ease in that. But
Right.
yeah. And actually, this same fellow was mentioning that idea of importance. And I was seeing the parallel to that with the idea, Bashar's idea of like insistence or flowing too much energy to it, that paradox in intentional manifestation of focusing on it, but then totally letting it go. As soon as you define something as super important to me, you're insisting on it, or maybe like latching on with undue focus and looking around, where is it? So it is almost paradoxically pushing it away rather than just being easy about it.
Yeah, and in the case of my client, that's a really common thing. Like, people think they need a specific job or a specific mate, and that might not be the job for them. It might not be the person for them. The universe might have somebody so much better, or a position way better, that matches your passions and is going to pay you way more than the other job would have. But you're like, nope, it's got to be this. Nope, sorry, universe, no thank you. And we don't know what we're saying no to by being closed.
Powerful, Karen. And it's making me think of Bashar, where he always suggests that anytime you get the emotional feedback that what you're thinking about is aligned with you, like that person, that job, that bank account feels really good, it's merely your higher self giving you a vibrational state of being that's aligned with your true self and telling you focus here because it'll attract something of that vibration, but it's not necessarily that specific object or person or circumstance.
Yeah, because then it's attachment and it is insistence, like you're saying. And it's also so limiting. It's limiting the universe. And that's not our job. What does Dr. Joe say? He says, like, decide what you want and how you want to feel and leave the how up to the universe and bring it in a way that surprises and delights me.
Yes.
Yeah.
How cool is that? It really makes life the ultimate adventure if you consider that organizational structure. You just choose a state of being you prefer, represented by an emotion or a mood that you're feeling all day, and then you let the reality reflect that to you through completely unpredictable events and circumstances. It's the ultimate adventure for the consciousness that we are, which is really God consciousness, source consciousness, unlimited consciousness.
I understand now, the more I learn about the subconscious mind, the more I learn why this is so difficult for people, because anything unknown, anything unknown, anything we've never experienced or done before, the subconscious mind reads as potentially dangerous. So there's going to be a lot of things thrown at you to keep you where you are, a lot of logic and reasons not to do something different. So do you have any suggestions on how to counteract that? How to, I want to say override it, but
the greatest tool I use is simply continually reminding myself of what I know has to be the greater truth, what Bashar and Abraham and a lot of these channels are presenting, especially Bashar's 5 laws. The overall concept that I exist and will exist forever. I'm an infinite, indestructible consciousness, and the body is essentially an illusion. So if I continue reminding myself of that, boom. Yeah, exactly. I realize it may seem like I'm going to experience pain, physical pain or psychological pain or circumstantial pain, but the truth is this is just a passing experience. And I know I must be the creator of my own experience. It's the most common theme across everyone that resonates with everything we're discussing. You're the creator of your own reality. So it's simply owning that I'm the creator. Either there's a power outside of me that can harm me and affect me, or I'm the only power within my own reality. And it's up to me to hold fast to that knowingness and act like it. Do you have any strategies or tools you use?
Well, there's a lot. I mean, there's stuff that I do, obviously. I do subconscious reprogramming work. But outside of that, I would say practicing courage. So that's a skill. It is a skill that can be learned by anybody. And we've all done it before. Courage is simply like taking action when you're scared. And I deal with a lot of entrepreneurs, and they're like, oh, this doesn't, and a lot of them are spiritual. So they're like, oh, this doesn't feel like it's in alignment, which a lot of times is bullshit. It's code for the ego saying, oh, this is uncomfortable. I'm just going to say it's not in alignment, and then I don't have to do the uncomfortable thing.
Yeah.
So what I do personally is I tune in like, okay, this thing scares me. It doesn't feel good in my body. These sensations, I don't like them. These scary, fear sensations. And, not but and.
Yes.
And,
Inclusive.
yes, and. Will that action get me closer to what I want? Or the person that I choose to be, how does she behave? What kind of actions does she take? And if it's a yes on those, yes, it will get me closer. And yes, the person I'm becoming would do that thing, then I do the thing. Like scared, I do it scared. And when you practice that enough times, it just becomes like, yep, yeah, I'm scared. So one of the things I've done on a number of occasions, I have a tiny fear of heights, not bad. I mean, I love roller coasters and stuff, but from jumping from high things, high boulders into water, that is scary to me. So I started practicing doing it. Anytime I was somewhere with a high place to jump and other people were jumping successfully, not breaking anything, not hitting the bottom before me, so it's controlled risk, then I would do it. And I watch people, they get up there and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so scary. And they'll stay up there for 5 minutes feeling that fear. And I'm like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I go up and I jump. I don't sit there and feel that fear in my body. Maybe I should. Maybe that's the the rub. Maybe I should allow it for a long time and then jump. But for me, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's like rip the Band-Aid off, jump,
Yes.
enjoy the ride.
There's power in that decisiveness.
Yeah.
You decided you're going to act, and then it's almost practicing or conditioning your body. Hey, when I decide I'm going to act, I act.
Yeah,
even
that's
at
true.
the last second when the fear comes before you're about to jump out of the plane skydiving or whatever. You've practiced. I always push right through.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
I always scream. It's not that I'm not scared. I make a decision. Once I decide, what's the point in wasting all that energy feeling those sensations of fear in my body? Just jump. So finding those little things outside of your comfort zone that get you closer to where you want to go, I think is a really good way to build that muscle.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the big things, you're like, oh, I can do that. I've been practicing.
Hell yeah. Building muscle is a great term for it. It's literally like you do one push-up one day, you're like, I could probably do two. And then you do two, you do three. And then you realize, oh, there's nothing to it. There's really nothing that's going to harm me here. I've done it so many times. I keep seeing all these exercises, tools, practices as basically just a muscle conditioning. It's not a physical muscle. It's more of a focus muscle or a mental muscle, a thought muscle. And I see why practice is a term that's frequently associated with meditation because it's like reconditioning a pattern or a fractal cycle in reality, switching up what's constantly evolving to basically a new pattern. Everything's almost always in a state of patterning, although not to change directions too harshly, but some Eastern people I follow suggest if you're always completely in a present state of being with no thoughts outside the present moment, you're essentially free from any type of cyclical pattern.
Yes.
And you're creating new patterns in real time as you're moving through reality. And what a badass, crazy state of being that would be. You'd be completely untethered.
Yeah.
And at the same time, knowing you're completely loved and supported by the universe because you are the universe.
That's mastery. I mean, that's something I aspire to. Not even close. Like, right? If we get caught in a daydream about the past or the future, we're not present, right? Yeah. Oh, man.
One of my favorite phrases from the Bible, and I'm paraphrasing. Actually, I've never looked it up. All right, excited homework for myself to actually find the actual quote. But supposedly there's a quote where Jesus says, live like there's no tomorrow, or live like today is your last day. And I think if that's a valid quote, wow. Like if you knew today was actually your last day, you'd be like, time to empty the bank account, time to run free, time to do all the things I freaking have always wanted to do. And imagine what would potentially happen if you experimented living in that way.
I know. Most of us have heard that before.
Yes.
I don't think it's from the Bible, to be honest.
Oh no, I'm gonna find out. And by that I mean I'm gonna forget.
It won't matter. As soon as we stop recording, it won't matter. It doesn't matter. We've all heard it. Like, what if today were your last day? Would you spend it being angry? Would you spend it being resentful? Would you spend it, doing whatever the heck you're doing, screwing around? Or would you make it count?
Yeah, that power.
And it's kind of like the
day.
Bashar thing, like follow your highest excitement all the time, because it could be your last day. It's difficult to get to that place a lot of times when life keeps lifing. But it's a good reminder, always a good reminder.
Yeah. I like that phrase, when life keeps lifing. I've been listening before my morning meditation for the last week to this Abraham clip where she says, you have what is itis. You can't take your eyes off what is, and you're constantly choosing to shift your vibration because of what you're observing. And since your vibration is actually creating reality, not the other way around, until you can decide to get over what's happening in front of you and vibrate in a way that's different than what you're perceiving, you can never change your reality. And that would literally be, you'd be seeing lower vibrational states in physical manifestation, say someone screaming, someone fighting, and literally have to choose internally to basically be in a state of joy, acceptance, allowance, some other state different than one that you're actually observing.
Yeah.
And she keeps harping on the fact it's not as hard as you think. You've just practiced and trained yourself continually because people told you to always respond to them Like your parents are like, hey, I'm angry at you. Look at you.
Yes.
Come down to my level with me. Come down to feel shame because I'm feeling anger. But it's literally someone's yelling at you and telling you should feel shame and feeling joy inside, which is actually like the existential kink that you were mentioning the other week. It's finding a way. Wow, yeah, full circle.
Yeah.
And I still haven't read the book, but I'm excited to. But it seems like that's what you were explaining the premise as. I can actually feel joy and excitement when the suggested reality response would be to feel shame, right?
Yeah. Yeah, instead of shaming something or judging your excitement, it's actually enjoying the bodily sensations of the thing you say you don't like. So if it's your bank account shrinking, for example, maybe in your body it feels like butterflies, like you just met somebody that's really attractive or you have a huge crush. Or in my case, it's like being on a roller coaster, right? I love roller coasters, like, whee!
Yeah.
So it's allowing your body to enjoy those pleasures instead of judging them and making them wrong. And she goes, further, of course, to say, actually get off on it. Why not?
Yeah.
Psychologically, you're getting off on it. Why not physically too?
I love that.
Hey, we'll take any opportunities.
I'm right fucking now. I can see like so much power in that. It's beautiful.
Well, it's accepting part of, what she's saying is like when you're just manifesting and trying, in quotes, to be vibing high, but you're not looking at what is. You're not looking at what's really happening in your body, what's really happening in your mind, then that stuff is going to continue to rule you. Like until we make the unconscious conscious, it will rule us and we will call it fate. That's Carl Jung. So it's making that stuff conscious, bringing it up, and then not to shame it or make it wrong or to even transmute it, just to like acknowledge it and enjoy the fuck out of it. Once you can do that, then you don't need to create it in the same way. You can get those thrills in other ways that might be healthier for you.
Yeah, being aware is always the first step. You can only change what you are aware of. If you're not aware of it, you have nothing to work from.
Yeah.
So that's
what I was
cool.
thinking was, remember the Mind movies?
Yes.
I don't know if you went to any Dr. Joe stuff.
Yes.
He used to include the Mind movie with the price of admission, right, for a week long. So I have that. But it would be cool, right, to really use that and create this Mind movie. And Dr. Joe uses it in conjunction with this kaleidoscope, so he gets you into trance. But that doesn't work for me. But you could use anything to get into a trance state or like an alpha or theta brainwave state. And then watch your Mind movie, because then it goes right into the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between that and your 3D reality. So then you get to that vibration.
I love the My Movies. I still make my own. I just use iMovie on the laptop and paste different pictures from the internet. I guess it's basically the same idea as a vision board. It's just more technologically advanced and kind of plays itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find great power because I can immediately feel the emotional feedback in looking at images that are very pleasing to me.
Yeah.
And that, like we were just talking about earlier, is the inner being saying, hey, look more here. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Every time we use hand signals, this thing keeps cutting off. So now we got to like sit like this or something.
Yeah, we are discovering camera issues. There's some built-in AI where the camera keeps stopping recording. What type of camera is this? If anyone has an Insta360. If anyone has an Insta360 camera and knows why hand signals make the recording stop, post us a comment.
But our fist bumps don't.
No.
What if we flip it off? Let's see. No, nothing. So it just doesn't like the positive hand signals. It doesn't like a thumbs up.
It's just the thumbs up. Go figure.
Speaking of keeping us present, like we can't stay on a different, line of thought. We have to keep being present in the moment. It's bringing us back. You ever listen to those meditations where there's bells?
Yes.
Like intermittent bells. Some people get so mad at those because they're like, oh, I was drifting. But they're meant to bring you back to the present moment. So this is what this is doing.
Well
Every time
said.
you thumbs up, it's like, come back.
Come back to me. There it is. Shout out to Dr. Joe. We love you.
Oh.
No.
So,
is your tank full?
my tank's always full, John.
Well said, Karen.
Yes.
Yes.
We don't know how long we've been going. For us, it looks like 1 minute now. So maybe this would be a really long episode, maybe short. Let us know.
Well said.
Well, thanks for watching or listening to Right
Fucking.
Now, baby.
We love you guys.
Love you. Thank you. Mwah.